All right, I'm here for Dusty S's ongoing coverage of Fragicago 2023 here at the Scrims Esports Center. I'm here with Brett of Boss coming up against their win in the quarterfinals against Supernova. So I guess I'll start off by asking, Brett, how you doing?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm glad to be at LAN with my teammates, my friends around me. It's a good time.
And with that, you guys have had a pretty stellar run through the event so far. Coming in as the number one seed, you have had a pretty smooth sailing so far on your way to the semifinals. Does that feel good to you guys to sort of validate your progress as a team?
Well, obviously we're playing with subs, so it's like a little bit different to gauge like the actual success. But yeah, we've been doing pretty good. Dia is really good. He's on Fluffy Gamers, and he's a really solid opper in general, I'd say. So I'm glad we have him here at the LAN. He was like a last-second pickup, and luckily he lives here in Chicago area, so it just made sense to go with him because we had picked him for this LAN before we had a fifth, before we had found WolfY to pick up for our actual roster for the team.
Yeah, and with that, how is like Dia different from WolfY as an opera? Has it like given you a different perspective on how operas can approach the game?
Well, Dia is definitely just as mechanically skilled as WolfY. It's just like a little bit of like experience and like how vocal he is. Because WolfY is like a very talkative opera. He's always calling for his plays, like making suggestions to the call, like always giving his input and ideas, and very always says what he wants to do, which is like really really nice. It's always we always know what's going on. With Dia though, we kind of like have to ask him, where do you want to go this round? What's the plan here? And we say like something's not working. Can you actually come here and do this? So like it's a little bit different, like experience wise. Dia's really good. He's really solid opper at the ECL level. I like playing with him. He's my friend actually outside of the game. But WolfY is definitely like really good, and we're really happy we have him on the team.
Now we've talked to WolfY sort of about his plans post this ECL season heading into the holidays. Now that you guys have had more time to gel, is this plan still to stay in Europe, or do you think there's a future you can have with WolfY as your opper?
So that's actually a difficult question to answer. Right? He's going back home for New Year's to be with his girlfriend and his family, which I completely respect. And he'll come back and he will be playing the major open qualifier with us. So that's exciting because I'm really glad to have him and his experience on our team. But I think the future is up in the air, and that's kind of why we're not like signing with any orgs. We've gotten a couple offers, but right now we're still under contract with Wildcard for a little bit longer. But the future is definitely up in the air, and we hope we'll figure something out soon. But I'm just glad to have him for now, and we'll see what the future brings.
Now, I wanted to ask about that as well. I think a lot of people were surprised by what Wildcard did to the team, cutting 4 members and bringing in 4 new members. And when we interviewed Jeremy 9000, Horvey, and Warden, they mentioned the fact that there was like some degree of writing on the wall at the boot camp that you guys would be cut. Do you see it that way? Was it a surprise to you guys?
I definitely felt like changes were coming. I just thought the changes were going to be like, honestly, I thought I was probably going to get cut, or somebody else on the team was going to get cut who wasn't like performing as well in Europe. But so I was actually very, very surprised when they decided to drop all 4 of us and keep Slight. I was very surprised. I thought they would just like kick me or someone else on the team. But yeah, it definitely caught us by surprise. We didn't see it coming. We knew something was coming. We just didn't know what. They weren't really that transparent with us. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit frustrating, but honestly, now that the dust has settled, we're very happy with how things turned out. We're very happy.
What do you mean by that? Like, what's the goal? What's the silver lining from being dropped by Wildcard here? Like, what's your thought process on that?
Well, first of all, no pressure from the org to perform and keep on improving, which is obviously warranted. They want us to make the major. They want to get their name out there. They want to make a profit, and I completely understand their POV. I understand why they dropped us. Which just could have been a little more transparent about it, I think, and not have like we wouldn't have wasted so much time had they been a little more transparent, because we had to like scramble to find a fifth. Absolutely scramble. We asked so many people. We got turned down by so many people, so many offers that like people said, why don't they just pick up so and so? He turned us down. So it was a real struggle. I'm really happy it's WolfY, because when we were at Kingwin at the boot camp, and Mady was there, now so their complexity was there, I actually had a lot of time, like free time, to talk to WolfY, and get to know him and like see how he is as a player. And I'm actually really happy things turned out this way. The silver lining, to answer your question, we got a better opper. We have all of our freedom back for how we want to run things as a team, how we want to play as a team, and we're just really happy for that. And honestly, I think we kind of took it for granted, but like the lack of pressure and the freedom of like not having like a coach and a manager that wants to play a certain way has really helped us and is going to bring us back into form that we were before.
Now, obviously, you guys have sort of chosen to begin your existence as boss without a coach, whereas before in Wildcard you had WolfY. Something that I personally find interesting is the fact that we talk sort of about a lot about the coach-player relationship, and it seems like WolfY had some understanding of what was going to happen to the team, but you guys did not. What was your relationship like working with WolfY in Wildcard?
I really liked Horvey, but the lack of transparency really killed it for me there. So that was disheartening, to say the least. But yeah, I liked Horvey. He was a good coach, especially at the start. I really liked him at the start. Things kind of changed as the org put a little more pressure on us to perform, which is understandable. They want us to keep improving. When they picked us up, we shot up. We skyrocketed when we qualified for Thunder Pick, beat Nouns, went to Europe, had a boot camp. Things were looking on the up and up. And we even qualified to the RMR, but obviously we couldn't go for Micro didn't had a passport problem, and I was very ill, so we couldn't go to that. But I really wanted to. But sorry, what was the question again? I kind of like sidetracked myself.
No, I think you did a great job, answering it there with the relationship with the coach WolfY. And I guess something I think a lot of people were surprised about too was the fact that there seemed to be some maybe incongruity in the expectations the org had for the players versus what maybe people thought was realistic. What were their targets for you guys? Like, what was the expectations for you guys to accomplish during your time with Wildcard?
Well, number one, make the major. At the very least, ECL playoffs, obviously, that's a given. That was expected from us because we had making it a couple seasons in a row now. So, like, we needed to make ECL playoffs and do good. And we also needed to, obviously, the goal was make the major. The goal was make the major. Everyone wanted to make the major. That was the team's goal. We could have, Pro League was also kind of like the side goal, but, like, the main focus was getting ready for the major qualifier and, like, improving as a team. And we were doing really good. And then CS2 came out, and it kind of, it took a while for some of the players to adjust, including myself. I'm not going to lie. I was really bad at the beginning of CS2. I would just like die every round for free, and I wasn't like playing to my normal standard, and it really hurt my confidence. And I'm not going to lie, the reaction from like people on my team and my coach also hurt my confidence in the server, and I wasn't able to play well. Obviously, it's not their fault. They're just doing their jobs, trying to keep the team improving, and I was actually going backwards. I was actually getting worse. So that's kind of why I thought I was going to be removed from the team after the boot camp. But instead, they decided to make the change they did, which I completely understand. It's a business decision. I wish them the best of luck, but I'm not even focused on them. I'm just happy with where my team's at right now, and I really hope WolfY chooses to stay with us.
Now, so you mentioned the fact that you were getting a lot of feedback, maybe criticism from your teammates at the launch of CS2. So is it a good vote of confidence from those who stayed with you, Freshie, Cryptic, and Darty, that they did end up keeping on a team because they're an Orgas team, they could have just cut you right away?
Well, I'm just really happy with my teammates. I like all of them a lot. Our personalities mesh pretty well. We get along. We're friends outside the server, but we weren't like originally friends before. Like we just like we met each other from joining teams together, and then we slowly like grew as friends together and got closer. And I think that boot camp, like while it was like really painful at some points, like you can't really improve without going through the pain of growth. So we really. It was like a double-edged sword, I'd say, with the boot camp. Like, I'm just they trust me to play how I want to play the game, even when I fuck up, and I'm just happy that I have them because I trust them fully. Everyone trusts the call. Trust in the team is the most important thing. If you trust your teammates, you trust your IGL trusts the players. It's like things will always work out because there's more than one right way to win a round or win a game, but you just have to do it as a team and like trusting each other. And when there's like a lack of trust, the team breaks down. People start like going behind each other's backs, and it gets messy. And I also think that also played a factor along with like the lack of transparency.
And now returning the focus, 1 second, hang tight. Fragicago action in the background. So returning the focus to the here and now. We heard from Cyrus when we talked to him at the very start of the event that he thinks he's the best team here, and that he basically has a de jure expectation to win the event. Do you guys also have that expectation that you need to win this event?
Actually, I think some people on the team might. Some people care more than others. I definitely think we're the better players. They might be the better team right now because they have their full five, but I think we have the better players and the more experienced players. And I think even though their team has skyrocketed with the release of CS2, I really think our experience and individual skill will pull us through. Especially we trust each other. We kind of know how they play. We've scrimmed them a bunch. We've played matches against them. We know what they do. It just comes down to, I think, honestly, hitting shots, confidence, like playing as a team, just like this basic shit. If we make the final tomorrow, after we play Badass or Might, I don't know who's going to win map 3 here, but I think we'll win the LAN.
And then final question for you. Looking towards ECL in the end of the year, your first match will be either against EG or Nouns. How are you feeling about knowing that you guys finished as the top seed in ECL, or pardon me, second top seed right below M80? How are you feeling about your chances of playing either of those teams, considering the fact that EG is looking like they might dissolve at the end of the year and all those other external factors? And are you expecting a deep run in ECL?
Yeah, we definitely the short-term goal, Pro League. We all have talked about this before as a team. Short-term goal, Pro League. Long-term goal, Major. Obviously, it's going to be hard, liquid and complexity in the NA qualifier, but we definitely we think we match well against Nouns' playstyle. We used to get destroyed by them every single time, but now we have kind of caught on to like their playstyle. We think we have a good chance to beat Nouns. We also think it's going to be Nouns. We think Nouns will beat EG, so we're prepping for Nouns. But yeah, I think we'll do great, honestly, if we just trust each other and keep playing like we have been.
All right, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you guys in action in the quarterfinals and hopefully the final. Pardon me, semifinals and hopefully the finals. Thank you.
Thank you so much.